Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly open beading workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. So, before we would start, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I would like to make sure that the technical stuff is all right. We are going to work on, by the way, on Zuzi's GENLIS design that she created from the newest Beading School Academy team box, the Dangerous Liaisons. Everything that you need for it, it was included in your box. You can even make multiple pieces. And I would love to ask you that if you like this experience, then please share it with your beading friends. Please post the link beadingschoolacademy.com on your profile to invite them to join the academy, as we still have a few boxes left and they are happy. They are waiting impatiently for their new owners. And I see Cindy, Antoinette. Antoinette is wishing happy Friday to everyone. Lita is here. Thank you so much for your kindness, Lita. Faye is here. She got up early again. Catherine is here. Kristen is here listening while driving. Ginny, Sherry, Natalie is here. Yvonne is here. Malia on YouTube. Susan joined us. Marta joined us. Elena, Sarah, and Irina. And we also happen to have a bunch of Facebook users. So if you haven't heard their name yet, then it's because I don't see your name. I am using a broadcasting program to make it possible to be there at the same time on YouTube, on the Beading School Facebook page, and in the Beading School Facebook club. And then this clever program shows me all your comments coming in from all the three places. It makes it possible for me to show pictures, to share my hand camera, and so on. That's why it's possible. It's important for me to use it. And since the club is a closed, safe space on the internet only for beading school beaders, then no one, not even the program, can see that what's happening inside. But you can give it permission to see your profile. You need to open up the description of the video, and in the last sentence you will see a link that you can click, and then I will see your name and I can greet you personally. And it's just so much, I think, creates such a so much more warm atmosphere if we know who is there. And also it makes it a lot easier for me if you have a question and I would like to answer you personally. I also see Irina joining, and Kata is here, and Elaine is here, and Robin and Molly, and Linda is here, and Jennifer and Corinne is here, and Jessica and Teresa and Marianske. Lovely ladies from Israel. I'm so happy that you are checking in Tuesdays, Fridays. I'm really grateful also that you make the time to join us, and then I know that you are all right. So thank you for saying hi and everything. Thinking of you. So before we would start beading, I want to say that the tutorial is already waiting for you at noonehas2beadalone.com. As always, there are two options. You can either download it as a gift from Beading School. You just need to enter your email address, push the button, and then it will arrive in your inbox. And that is our helping hand to make sure that every beader really all around the world has the possibility to join the No One Has to Bead Alone workshops, or you can decide to buy it in the bead shop and support Beading School and the podcasts. We are grateful for both options. We are grateful for your support, for your precious bead orders, for your presence, for your company. And there is also something more waiting for you in the bead shop, because after the success of the new colors of Preciosa, my dear friend and colleague Andrea already ordered some more. So if you missed, or if you have a feeling that you need more of the new Preciosa colors, the cobalt blue or the light graphite, the cobalt blue has like AB and matte AB and 2AB variations. So if you have a feeling that you need to have them in your stash because that vibrant blue and because that elegant gray, those are just something that you absolutely must try to bead with, they are back again. So waiting for you, all the variations in the bead shop. This pretty red magazine that you might have seen behind me, it's actually the Crystal Innovations magazine from Preciosa. So I will spend my weekend listing through it to see what they write about the new colors, how they created them. It's always also full of like pretty pictures, sometimes surprising pictures. Feathery shoes in this case. High fashion, whatever. And also the cotton purse from Susie that Susie uses in the Pompadour tutorial are back, both sizes, all the colors, I think. And the tutorial, last piece of super important info because we would start beading. So Susie's Pompadour tutorial, and some of you were asking if it includes the small or the big or both. So it includes everything. So the tutorial can be your gift if you place an order between the previous Coffee Time with Erika on Tuesday until next week's Coffee Time with Erika. That's the 23rd of October, 5 in the afternoon, Central European time. It needs to be one order for that amount after gift cards and discounts, and we will be in touch through an email with you on Wednesday when the special offer is over. So that's a pretty good opportunity, I would say, to get this super nice tutorial from Susie. And I hope that you managed to download the GENLI tutorial in the meanwhile. And I would also like to greet Claire and Samia, Robin, Anita. Marianska says, I don't hear any music. Luckily, they left. I posted in the club that there is a construction going on across my window on the other side of the street. And from time to time, the workers opened their windows and put on Dutch music of Andre Hazes very, very, very loudly. So I was afraid that you will have to listen to it. But fortunately, they went home early. Friday afternoon. Everyone deserves a rest. And then Ula, I see you. And Teresa is here also. And Constance and Lynn. And Anita is asking about the new Preciosa finish. I haven't seen it. I got these two, the cobalt blue and the light graphite. And Terry is here with us, and Louisa and Laura and Sherry. So lovelies, are you prepared to bead together? I am. And let's get started and let's see what do we need for today's motif. And once we check our bead mats, I'm also going to check mine. Then I will also show you my colors for GENLI because I beaded it slightly different. So the focal in this case is a Preciosa Nacre cabochon in the 8mm size. Then you need 8 pieces of PaisleyDuo beads for a motif, and also 4 pieces of DiamonDuos or gem duos. And besides those, there are only seed beads, So there are round 11 seed beads, there are round 15 seed beads, and Miyuki Delica seed beads. So I always use Miyuki beads. It might work with other brands too, but Miyuki is what we are testing our tutorials with. And besides that, you can also, of course, personalize your motifs. You can hang glass drops in metal settings under them. You can add crystal connectors, and very probably you will also need some kinds of metal findings. So earring hooks, a clasp if you are going to make it into a bracelet, and so on. So I'm curious also that what are your plans and what are you going to make of the GENLIS motif? So, lovelies, do you have any question about the material list? While I'm waiting for your questions about the material, I'm going to show you how I made my GENLIS motif. I'm so happy with it. So I'm going to put on also my hand camera for a little bit. And I would like to greet Montaigne and Harmony and Kathy and Gemma and Helena and Linda. So I hope that you can still hear me well. And this is my GENLIS earring, again, a longer statement piece. And I was using for this one the dark bronze PaisleyDuos that were included in some of the dangerous liaisons boxes from the PaisleyDuos. You could receive different colors, and I wanted to show you how well it works with the colorway. What I had to substitute is the color of the Preciosa Nacre cabochon, because I ran out of the pearlescent pink that was included. But then the diamond duos are the same. I was combining two colors of round 50s, the matte one and the Duracoat one. And then I chose an earring finding with cubic zirconia. Again, this is a bit different because I used up all of what I had from the box. But then I'm super happy with this part. It was originally not a connector, but it was originally a hanging decoration. But since this teardrop shaped dangling thingy could be easily removed, the loop at the bottom of this bow tie shape is open, then actually I removed it and I made it longer by adding a bezeled pear-shaped cabochon that was also included in the box. So it became a bit longer and with more color at the bottom too. And Susan says she loves the statement earrings. Thank you so much, Susan. And thank you, everyone. And some of you were asking about this bow tie and teardrop decoration. It will be back during the Advent calendar. We already received news from the manufacturer, so it will be back now. It's out of stock. Thank you so much, ladies. And if you don't have questions about the material, just Claire is laughing here, saying, ha ha ha, thank you for distracting everyone. I have managed to place an order with the treasury before everything sold out. Clever strategy, dear Claire. Clever strategy. So, lovelies. Hello, Cindy and Linda. And let's start beading. I will hide my face and I will put on the illustrations. And please let me know if you will still be able to hear me well and see my hands, okay? So it should be okay now. Please let me know if you can still hear me. You should be able to see my earring now. Facebook user friends that the colors remind her of orange chocolate gelato. I'm actually so hungry. I somehow managed to skip breakfast, and even with a cake in the afternoon, I didn't manage to make up for it, I have a feeling. So you might hear my tummy rumbling. And the prospect of an orange chocolate gelato. Wow, I would love having it. And thank you for letting me know that is working. So let's get started. We will start with some round 15 seed beads and with some Miyuki Delica size 11s. So you need to pick up 4 pieces of the round 15 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 Miyuki Delica size 11. And you need to pick up this combination of 5 beads 4 times altogether. So there will be 20 beads altogether on your thread. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was my second group. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, my third group, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this was my fourth final group of seed beads. I let everything fall towards the end of my thread. I'm using my usual Fireline 4LB in black satin, and when creating a little square or circle, as Susie shows on the diagram, I like to bead through all of the beads one more time to create a strong base. And then, as Susie shows, I will bead through one more group, and I want to exit from a Miyuki Delica bead at the end of this step. So this is how it looks like. And let's see what's happening in step 2. In step 2, okay, I actually need to bead through 4 R15 seed beads and not through a Delica. And then I pick up 3 Miyuki Delica beads. I skip the Delica here and I bead directly into the group of round 15 seed beads. I repeat this on every corner of the motif. So again, I pick up 3 Miyuki Delica beads. I skip the Miyuki Delica that is right next to my exit point, and I bead through the 4 R15s. And again, and again. And hi, Linda. Third corner. And the fourth corner. And after adding the last group of new beads, a little bit I will repeat my thread path. Again, it's important to create a strong base for the motifs. So I am beading until I am exiting the middle Delica, in the second group of 3 Miyuki Delica beads that I added. This is going to be the top of the bezel. Just take it into account when you are selecting your colors. So I finish step 2 by exiting the Miyuki Delica bead in the middle of the second group that I added. In the third group, I will already add the Preciosa Nacre cabochon. It will go face down on this motif, but I can wait with it a little bit. So I will pick up groups of 5 seed beads, always connecting with them the middle Delica beads in the middle of the groups of 3. So I pick up 2 round 15s, a Delica, and 2 more round 15s. And I bead through the Delica bead in the middle of the next group of 3. As you can see, the beads cover a little bit smaller distance than the distance would be between the Delica beads if I wanted to expand the motif. So they will pull them together and start closing the bezel on the back. So I need to do this 3 more times, 2 round 15s, Delica, 2 more round 15s. I bead through the next Delica in the middle. And I do this 2 more times. In the meanwhile, while I am finishing this circle, finishing this step, please let me know how it's going, ladies. I love to hear when it's going, not only when someone has a question, but also it's super important and super nice to hear when it's going well. So from time to time, please let me know that, Erika, it's all right. No need to worry. And I just added my 4th group, and before I would pull everything tight, I put in the cabochon, the Preciosa Nacre cabochon. I will gently hold it with my thumb because it will not be secure yet. And I start repeating my thread path of the previous step without adding new beads until exiting the Delica bead in the middle of the second group. These seed beads that we added now, they should not be totally under the Nacre cabochon yet. They will more be like the outline, a frame around the baseline of the cabochon, and we will keep adding more beads to close the bezel on the back. And in the meanwhile, Jeannie said that it's going well for her mountain, all super clear so far. And Natalie dropped her cabochon into her keyboard. Oh my god, that does not sound well. For a while, I used to have a seed bead under my Q button. So every time when I wrote a Q, I had to copy it from somewhere and I couldn't type a Q. But I have a bead-proof keyboard now, so it's not possible to drop beads anymore into it. It is a big life improvement for me. Now, in step 4, we will be connecting the Delica beads in the middle of the groups added during the previous step. We are exiting a Delica in the middle of the group of 5, and then we pick up Delica, round 11 Delica, and we bead through the next Delica in the middle of the group of 5. And now these 3 new beads, they will finally come under the nacre cabochon, creating diagonals. So again, Delica, round 11, Delica, and I bead through the Delica bead in the middle of the next group of 5. You need to be a bit careful during this step because the nacre cabochon is a little bit slippery. So I advise holding it with the tip of your thumb. And then with every new group of beads, it becomes more and more secure. And once you added all 4 groups, this is still like not finished yet, don't worry, we will be adding more beads that will secure your precious cabochon. So after adding the 4 groups, you need to repeat the thread path while skipping the Delica beads that were added during the previous step. So you will bead only through Delica round 11 Delica and then right away into Delica round 11 Delica without beading through the Delica bead that is sitting in between the pairs of round 15s. And you need to finish this step by exiting around 11 in the middle of one of the groups. So this is the front and this is the back. And Marta says, such a nice bezel. I'm glad you like it, dear Marta. Now to close the bezel completely, I will add 4 pieces of round 15 seed beads in between the round 11s. And to create a little visual contrast, I will add the same color as will go on the edge, this shiny Duracoat galvanized muscat color that I am using. You know, this like it on one hand it doesn't matter that what is on the back, but sometimes those little details do add that final 10% that makes your jewel perfect and just more striking visually. It's like, would the famous shoes with the red soles be the same without the red soles? They wouldn't be. So when there is space, then it is super important to take care of these details and they can really elevate your finished jewels. And Montaigne says that this would also make a gorgeous post earring. And indeed, and you could already close the flatbed ear stud here, so you could insert it here and then close the beads around the post part, so you wouldn't even have to glue. Such a good idea, Montaigne. Thanks for sharing. Facebook user friend joining again, and Joyce joined us. And another Facebook user friend says, this color of the cabochon is so beautiful. Just this part looks so pretty too. I'm glad you like it. And I ran out of the pearlescent pink, so I'm using cranberry. It's one of the gemstone colors from Preciosa, and I love it very, very, very much. Very, 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 very much. And Lita agrees about those finishing touches. And that's actually the theme of next week's Coffee Time with Erika, that what kind of those last small finishing touches can we add to our jewels, or what are those little details that if we are careful about can add to the overall quality and look of our jewels. So if you are interested or If you would like to share your own tips, I would love hearing them. Then please join me next week for Coffee Time with Erika on Tuesday. And in the meanwhile, I managed to close the back of the bezels. So first I added the round 15ths, and then I repeated the thread path through them while skipping the round 11s. So the round 15ths are also connected into a tiny, tiny, tiny circle. But now it's time to get back on the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. And I need to get back to a Delica bead that is sitting in between two pairs of round 15s. And don't confuse it, it's not the one that is part of this trio, but it is the one that is more towards the front. I'm showing you from the front so you can imagine it better. So it's not this, but this Delica bead, still visible from the front somewhat. And let's see what's happening in step 7. We are adding some PaisleyDuo beads. Please be careful with them. Make sure that you orientate them in the way how Zuzi wants us to do them. So when I pick up a group of these, then I imagine that I want them to look like open wings. That if you look at them now, they look like the open wings of a bird or an angel, and not like closing wings, or I don't know how to say it, but the thicker parts should be closer to the cabochon. The thin parts will be on the outside edge, and the hilly parts should be touching each other. The volley parts, there is a heel and there is a volley, and the volley parts will be to the outside when I'm talking about one group that I will pick up. So one group, I'm exiting the Delica bead that I explained to you. I pick up around 15. Then I check if the second holes of my paisleys are open. And then I pick up the two paisleys in the way how I explained it to you. One more round 15, so 4 beads on my needle, and then I go through the next Miyuki Delica bead that is in the same position than the one that I was starting from. Okay, Claire sees rabbit ears. That's also good. So yeah, you need to create 4 pairs of rabbit ears around your cabochon. And Sarah also has a good tip that she's lining up her paisleys before she would be working with them to make sure that she gets the good directions. Thank you, Sarah. So I'm adding now the second group. Since these are 2-hole beads, then I'm also checking the second holes. I want to avoid surprises. Unpleasant surprises. I love surprises, but I would like to avoid unpleasant ones. So my second rabbit ear is in place. Then again, I pick up around 15. I check quickly the second holes. I pick up the paisleys, one more round 15. And I bead through the Delica in the same position. And when I pull my thread, I have the third rabbit ear in place. Just there is place only for one more bunny. So round 15, checking the second holes. They are all right, so I pick up the paisleys. This one doesn't have the hole on the thick part. Okay, this goes to my little bin. Okay, next one is all right. Then I pick up around 15 and I bead through the Delica that I was exiting at the beginning of this step. So there are 4 bunnies, 4 angels, 4 birdies all around. And then I start repeating the thread path by beading through the first group and then also through this second group, through the whole second group. So round 15, Paisley, Paisley, round 15. And in the meanwhile, Elena has a question. Why don't we now add size 15s between the paisleys? Why is it necessary to add 15s in the second pass of the thread and not in the first? So this is a very good question, and these kinds of details sometimes can change some tiny detail of how the result, how the motif looks like, because probably Zuzi felt it that it's necessary. It's, by the way, not my design, it's Zuzi's design. So you can also post your question in the club to learn about her way of thinking about design, about this design. But my thought is that she felt it necessary that the PaisleyDuos are pulled close together. Probably there would be a tiny difference in the look if she wouldn't do this. And hi Lily from Peru, bienvenidos. Que bien. And Yothin is here now. And let's see what's happening in step 8. So in step 8, we will skip the Delica beads and we bead through around 15 and the paisley. So we are not beading through the Delica bead from the bezel itself anymore. But here, as Elena said, we are adding around 15 seed bead in between the paisleys. I'm now using again the very pretty Duracoat one. And I repeat this all around. So always skipping the Delica here, pulling the 2 R15s close to each other. These 2 R15s belong to separate groups of beads, but now they will be nearly touching each other. And here, in between the paisleys, we add the new R15. So I am making this nice long statement earrings from this motif. And I'm curious that how do you plan to finish your GENLIS motif? And I'm curious if you have seen the picture on Tuesday that what was Zuzi working on recently. Because she was working on a beautiful, beautiful brooch where she started with one more GENLI motif. So if you would like to create a set like she did, then you can already bead today and tomorrow 3 of the motifs, maybe 2 for your earrings and then 1 more for the brooch or pendant. And on Sunday, we will publish a new article on the Beading School blog, and Susie will teach you how to bead that beautiful, unbelievably beautiful beaded motif that I am showing you now. I think we were all hungry for some bead embroidery, and in my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful bead embroidery pieces that Susie has ever created. So I can't wait to see it finally on the blog and then to see your beautiful jewels. Later, a little bit later, the chandelier components will also be available in different colors, already ordered. It just takes, unfortunately, a little bit longer than I expected, so that's why we don't have them yet. But there will also be old silver ones and golden ones and bronze ones available a little bit later. And in the meanwhile, I continued repeating my thread path, and I want to finish after exiting a PaisleyDuo in the second group of angel wings or bunny ears. Montaigne likes the big motif very much, and Sherry too. And Montaigne says, I would like to put 5 of them together to make a necklace. And that will be beautiful, I think. Or you can put the big one in the middle and then 4, 2 plus 2 on the sides. We will also post a link on Friday to a basic bead embroidery tutorial, so you don't need to worry if you haven't tried bead embroidery yet. There are lots of video tutorials available on the Beading School YouTube channel, and we also have blog articles which explain to you very well in detail what you need to do. So don't worry. But if you are new to bead embroidery, then I would recommend starting with the traveler pendant and then trying this. And now back to the small GENLI motif and step 9. So now we will be pulling together Paisley duos belonging to 2 different groups. So I'm exiting a hole in the Paisley duo. I picked up around 11, and then I bead through Paisley duo, round 15 Paisley duo, so basically the whole next group. And then again I fill in around 11, and I bead through the next group of Paisley, round 15 Paisley. So you may have spotted this, that my needle is more than bended. I accidentally grabbed a thinner needle than my normal one. I like to have 3 different thicknesses nearby because I use them for different purposes. Mostly I use the size 11, but sometimes I switch to the size 12, which is thinner when I need to get through a small hole. And I started to work accidentally with the size 12, and yeah, I'm not used to it that much because I just use it for specific situations. So I managed to bend it completely. And now I can add the very last round 11, and I will bead through the next group of paisley, round 15 paisley, and even a little bit further, so size 11 paisley, round 15. Oh, and that's where I can stop. Okay, thank you, Susie. So I'm exiting now around 15, sitting in between two paisley duos. And Faye says, all these passes make it super sturdy. Indeed, indeed. Sometimes that's also a reason why we do things in a certain way, because the construction of the motif become sturdier. And I need my second batch of illustrations now. So we are going to add lots of seed beads in the next step. I'm going to use actually two different colors. Susie was using one, but I made a little variation and I'm using two colors for this part. And I will also add 4 pieces of the diamond duos. You can use diamond duos or gem duos. The shape and the size is the same. And I want to show you my variation of the seed beads here, that we are now adding these seed beads here. So here I went for the Duragold galvanized, and we are also adding this sequence here, the round 15 diamond duo round 15. And I wanted to make this part more in focus. So these are the galvanized, and these two will be the matte one. But it's completely up to you that how would you like to do this. So exiting the round 15 in between the paisleys, I pick up 4 pieces of round 15s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I bead through the outside hole of the paisley. There is a big gap now in between paisleys belonging to different groups between the thinner sides, and I will fill it by picking up around 15, a diamond duo, and around 15. You might have seen that I also quickly pushed my needle through the outside hole of the diamond duo. So again, since this is a 2-hole bead, then I highly recommend checking if the second hole is clogged. And again, I pick up 4 round 15s and I bead through that one in between the 2 paisleys. Again, 4 round 15s and the outside hole of the paisley. I need to arrange them a little bit to make them sit nice and curve around the paisley. And then again, I can pick up round 15, diamond duo, round 15. I fill the big gap, and then again 4 pieces of round 15s. I bead through the round 15 in between the paisleys. We have new beading friend joining us. Again 4 round 15s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third group of round 15. Diamond duo round 15. And then again 4 round 15s in my Duracoat color, beading through the round 15, sitting in between the bunny ears, and finishing it by repeating the same. So lovelies, Besides the versions that Montaigne mentioned, how do you plan to finish your design, finish your motif? So many possibilities. Sometimes it's hard to choose. I would also love to create a bracelet from this. I think it would look great. With like maybe 5-6 motifs connected to each other. And I just added the last group of round 15s, and I will repeat the thread path until I am exiting the third group of round 15s, of 4 round 15s that I added. Lita is thinking about a bracelet too. Sometimes the motifs, they just like, usually it is possible to make them into a bracelet, earring, pendant, brooch, but sometimes they are like simply shouting that I want to be a bracelet, I want to be a bracelet. And thanks to this somewhat squarish shape of this motif, I think this is one of those that is shouting that I want to be a bracelet. Faye says, I think it would make a wonderful brooch considering this option. And I think that's also a great idea. With filigree brooch base, of course. So this is how it looks like at the moment. And Neeti is here and she says, I am looking forward to the bead embroidery pendant. This will be earrings for me. That will be a beautiful set, dear Neeti. And Lita, since she doesn't have pierced ears, so for her it's always a bracelet, a brooch, or a necklace. But still, even without pierced ears, there are different possibilities. So it is possible to play, luckily. And now, to complete the framing of the motif with some more seed beads, I will pick up 3, 4, 5, 6 round 15s. In my case, this is going to be the matte color. 4, 5, 6. Then I pick up a Delica, 3 round 15s, and 1 more Delica. So 6 round 15s, Delica, 3 more round 15s, and Delica. And now this is how my thread is hanging, and I need to cross the outside hole of the DiamonDuo or GEMDuo in the opposite direction. So when I pull my thread, then you will see how these seed beads are framing the edge of the motif. And to create a little pointy part here, I bead through a Delica and around 15. I skipped around 15 in the middle, and I bead through another round 15 and Delica bead. And when I pull my thread, it should pop under that middle round 15, and you see that it will be like more V-shaped. And I pick up 6 more round 15, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I bead through a group of round 15s that I added in the previous step. I skip the one in the middle. I go directly into the second group of round 15s that I added in I did during the previous step, and I repeat this part. So picking up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 round 15s, a Delica, 3 round 15s, and 1 more Delica. I bead through the outside hole of the DiamonDuo or GEMDuo in the opposite direction. I bead through Delica and round 15, and then I skip the round 15 in the middle, and I bead through round 15 and Delica, finishing off this next part by picking up 6 round 15s, 3, 4, 5, 6, beading through 4 round 15s that I picked up during the previous step. I skip around 15 and I bead into the next group of 4. And this is what you need to do all around. And once you have it, you can add your findings, you can add your personal touches, and please snap a picture and share it with us in the Beading School Club. So, ladies, I really hope that you liked beading this together with me, and I can't wait to see your variations. I think this one is another beautiful motif from Susie. I always love beading her designs. And next week we are going to meet again on Tuesday with discussing those finishing touches of beadwork. So please also, maybe if you have an idea how to add those tricks, what are those tricks that make a beaded jewel just perfect, that last 10%, then please note it down and share it with each other on Tuesday. So thank you so much, ladies, and I would like to wish you a nice, peaceful weekend. Keep beading, keep sharing it in the club, and see you on Monday. Hello, everyone. Bye-bye.